Hi everyone, welcome to today's Tiny Tech Training in the MSL Learn series. I am Bobby DeMontney, outgoing MLN technical support and incoming lifelong learning librarian, accompanied by Colette Barteau, our CE coordinator, who will be helping to moderate and make sure you get your evaluation link at the end. So today we're going to talk about the demand for training that we've had, accessing the classes, and claiming CE credit. Thanks, Jamie. So we've had an increasing demand for computer literacy training, and we wanted to spotlight the universal classes in this new year. You can claim universal class credits one-to-one in Aspen if you and your supervisor determine that they apply to your role at your library. But first, before I get too far into this, I'm going to take a little poll.
How do you make it smaller? I can't see now. Mute yourself.
Okay, I just launched a poll. It's a one-question poll. Oh, wow. Okay, so it looks like more of you have said no, you have not taken a universal class before, but it's also kind of a close split. So that's pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and end that one. So to get started in universal class, you're going to need to follow some steps I've got here, and I'm putting a link to this printable into the chat. So you will log in with Libby. You will, of course, want to install the Libby app on your device or go to libbyapp.com on your browser on the computer. In Libby, you can follow the prompts to find your library and then sign in with a valid library card. And then from the library home screen, you'll scroll down and tap the extras header to see a list of providers. Right now, we have a couple of different extras, but the one we're talking about today is Universal Class. And once you get down to that section, you can click into Universal Class and then click Get, just like that. So Universal Class and other Overdrive extras use the same kind of borrowing model as the ebooks and audiobooks in Libby. So when you borrow the access to the service, you'll get it for a set amount of time. And the borrowed services will appear on your shelf, just like the books. And that way you can get back to them during your access period. And it says in my slide here that they vary by provider. We're just talking about Universal Class, so that should stay pretty static for you guys. It's also available for your patrons. So while you might be drawn to more of the business or computer or office skills in order to get your CE credits, it's good for you to know how to get around in there to access other things like hobbies, there's DIY and all sorts of general education stuff in there. You can do a general search, and that way you can narrow it down to see different featured courses. And once you select a category, you'll be able to see all of the courses available in a certain area of study. Then when you open a course, you'll see all of the lessons within a topic. And then there's a green button that says join this course. You can just click that button and start working through the lessons. In some cases, you'll get options. So you could do the full course, or you could just watch the videos for the course. It completely depends on what the course is and the different ways that you can do that. In the example on my screen there, you'll see how there's 16 lessons, 25 exams and assignments for 8 hours, 0.8 CEUs. And that last little slide that's a little more teal, there's a video audit available. So that means you can just watch the videos and not go through the whole course. But when that happens, it also changes the amount of time you've spent. It's not the same as taking a course for the CE. So if it's just something where you want to know a little bit of information about it and watch the video, that's fine. You're totally welcome to do that. And when I say that the courses have a one-to-one with the CE, I'm not talking about getting 0.8 of a CE. It's actually by hours. So those 8 hours there that you see for that human resources example would be 8 CE credits. You can get around within a course with the drop-down menu and navigate the syllabus. And this is also where you would see your report card and any learning outcomes that you've done. And Denise, a list of courses. Well, Denise, it's basically something that you and whoever is the person signing off on your stuff. So if you're signing off on a staff member's selections, or if someone else is agreeing with you that this is something that should be acceptable for your job, then you can use it. It's always had a bit of a honor system sort of thing because you guys, libraries are able to offer so many different things that it's hard to say what might apply to your job at any one point. And it's not for me to necessarily say. And Colette, if you'd like to speak to that a little bit more, you're certainly welcome to.
Sure. Yeah, Bobby, you exactly described the situation. So if you have a continuing education plan that you've worked out with your supervisor, and we would encourage you to take a look at just the wealth of technology, basic productivity tools, even things like human resources, the example that Bobby is showing. So it's a really rich collection of learning that isn't necessarily library specific, but it may be specific to your job. And that's really way more important in terms of your choice of the continuing education credits and courses that you take. So if you have that plan and your supervisor is signed off, then absolutely, you know, this is another great resource that we have available to us statewide that we really encourage you to take advantage of.
And Starla, yeah, it does look similar to Niche Academy. In this case, though, it's something that we subscribe to through the Overdrive contract, and we're able to offer it to your patrons and to you. It just happens to be a service that we originally started doing for patrons. And then we realized with all of the questions we've been getting about computer stuff and human resources stuff and office sorts of skills, that we should be making it available. I mean, it was already available to all of you, but we thought we'd kind of point to it a little bit more and make you more aware that you could use this as an independent study. All right, so then once you've taken one of those courses, you can add your CE as an independent learning event in Aspen. So I'm sure you guys have seen all of this before. You want to make sure that you've got a track selected. And once that track is selected, it should activate your ability to add courses. And at that point, you can add a course to your track. In this case, you would add an independent learning event by creating an event. And then a page will open up with all sorts of fields that you can fill out. Just make sure that anything with the red asterisk is filled out. And that way we should be able to make that go through for you. So now we're going to go through those steps together. And just one second here, I'm going to close my Teams because it seems like it's like blowing up all of a sudden. I don't know if you guys hear all of the beeping, but I'm sorry about that. Get rid of that. There. Okay, so now we're going to go through it together. I'm going to go to Libby. So
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, I didn't see the Libby app yet, so just sorry, checking in.
Oh, nope. I have my shelf right here. As you can see, I've already checked it out, but I'll show you where you can go to do that. So in your libraries, you would just scroll down to the middle here, and then you would select Universal Class, select Get, and that's how you check it out. If you haven't done it before, you will need to register. There's a little registration section where you just fill out a few things and then it's good to go. If you had checked it out before, then you'll probably just have a stored password that you can use. And if you don't remember what it is, then you can always click the forgot password button to get it going again. So since I've already checked it out, I'm going to go to my shelf and I will click on Universal Class. Okay, so this is the fun part. You get to pick a course that you're interested in. And if any of you see something or have had something that you're curious about, I'm happy to click into it and show you around. While I'm waiting for some suggestions to come in, I'm going to pop over to computer training just because that's one we get questions about a lot. So these are all things that you can learn about. So I guess I will show you, oh, what is Slack? Slack is a lot like it's kind of a Teams alternative. It's a little bit, I think I would say it's almost like a Teams meets Twitter hybrid for the office. Yeah. It's not one that we have here, but I know that corporate places tend to use that a lot. So I'm going to click into Computer Literacy Level 1 Computer Basics. And it shows you all the different areas of study. It gives you a course description with a detailed course breakdown and all of the lessons within the course. You get learning outcomes and additional course information. And then at the end, there's also different related courses. So you would work your way through this lesson, and as you finish one, it would release the next one. And in order to join the course, you would just click join this course. If you were to get through this whole thing, you'll get a certificate at the end. You would turn in that independent learning on Aspen. At the end, you'll get a certificate. So when it comes time to say, yeah, I did this, you can just show that certificate in order to say that you've completed it, and you get those 7 hours of CE. So that is a very quick way to wipe out a whole category almost, depending on what it is you're doing. And a training video for the use of Universal Class that this session is being recorded and it will go onto YouTube, so you could use that. And there's also, Coley just put a help desk article right there in the chat.
And there is a great short video that Bobby did, like she mentioned, it's on our YouTube channel, but it's also embedded with the instructions. So that would be actually really good if you want to use that with patrons.
And I feel like I might have sort of missed a cue there. So I am going to actually just click on the Slack one because it seems silly not to. So yeah, this is Slack. There's 10 lessons, 12 exams. You get 4 hours of CE. If you just wanted to know a little bit more, there is that video audit section. And yeah, it's all just about remote working in the digital age and how to use that. This time I am going to look at, what was it? I saw kind of a cool one. I think it was under personal development. Yeah. Okay, so there's a lot of really interesting things here, like creative thinking or innovative thinking. There was one about assertiveness training. I feel like that could be a positive thing for people to know. So again, if you decide you want to take this course, you would just click on that green button. There's 11 lessons, 17 exams and assignments. You get 8 hours of CE. You get the course description here. Breakdown of all of your lessons. Different learning outcomes. And more related courses, such as perhaps workplace conflict. So you can see there's a lot of things that would apply to just about any office. And then when you click that Browse Courses button right up top, you can see an overview. And this is also great to be able to show a patron who wants to know how to find more things, because perhaps they wouldn't be as interested in some of the office things or getting those CEs, because that wouldn't apply to them. But we also have test prep for students, and there's parenting stuff, general education. The crafts and hobbies is particularly fun. Learn all about color theory, or I think there was one about cake making. Yep, there it is. Cake decorating 101. So not only does it apply to the types of things you want to do for your continuing education, but it also, oh, I'm going to work this in. It also can work with any of some of that lifelong learning that your patrons want to do if they want to continue exploring some different kinds of classes. Before I navigate away from here, does anyone have a topic they'd like me to try to find?
Bobby, I'm really intrigued by that anti-aging techniques course.
Right there. All right, what have we got? Okay, so there are 12 lessons, 14 exams. You get 5 hours. It looks like we've got aesthetics and exercise, cosmetics, healthy living. I'm so glad that they're bringing in nutrition and healthy living and things like that.
Starla's asking about budgeting topics.
Budget topics. Let's see. I bet you we'll find something in here. We can even search. Effective policies and procedures. accounting, business, payable, receivable, accounting. I think it could possibly fall into there. I'm not seeing one that's specific to budget, but it looks like it could possibly be in one of those accounting ones. Debt reduction would also probably talk about budget, perhaps not from a library perspective or a business perspective. How to play chess. First glance, I don't see chess. Oh, but I'm in the business section. It looks like we have to. All right, browse courses overall. Chess. It doesn't look like chess is in there. That's too bad. That would have been a good one. Yeah, you bet. Great Courses also has some things you could use for sure. I would advise you to go in there and explore a little bit. I've used examples from that before. I know that there was some pretty high level computer stuff in there and quite a bit of other things. So I would definitely recommend exploring that. Okay, so now I am going to take us out of here and into Aspen. Okay. And in our continuing education section, this is where you'd want to make sure that you've got a track selected. And once you do, and you don't need to like remove tracks and change them around. If there's one in there, you should be good. And then we can add an independent learning event. And we are going to just do computer literacy. You want to add the date that you began it. As you notice here, anything with the little red asterisk is required. So as long as it's fine with your supervisor that it's not in here, then you can leave these types of things blank. But that is a conversation to have with your supervisor, director, or whoever you're reporting to, because maybe they want to know where you found this. In our case, it's universal class. And it's not always going to tell you who the trainer is in your universal class. So this is totally an acceptable thing to put in there. And computer literacy falls into technology. If you're not sure what category the thing you just learned falls into, I would recommend reaching out to Colette and she can help you determine that. I think that one was 8 hours or something. And then you can hit save. I'll remember to delete this after. So you click save. And then it gives you a review of everything you just put in there. And then you can return to your continuing education homepage, and it should show up under these tabs in order to show you what courses you've taken. So we've got collection management, library admin, library services, and technology. And I just put that one in there. It's going to show up as pending until it has been approved, which usually happens at the end when they're all reviewed. And then you've got your credits on there and you should be all set. And don't worry, guys, I'll yank this out of here. I'm not cheating. Yeah, let's see. How to raise lifelong learners. Thank you, Denise. I will definitely look into that one. Okay, so questions. I think that Colette already put the link to the survey in there, so please do let us know how we're doing. You've also got knowledge base articles, and Colette did put the link to that in the chat. The chat will also, or the links that she put into the chat will be added to the Aspen event when we're all done. That will probably be updated either by the end of the day today or possibly tomorrow. I'm juggling a few more things than usual right now, but they should be up pretty soon and you can get to it from the link. If you did not see the link in the chat and you want to use the QR code to let me know how it's going, that would be great. And otherwise, I think we're about done if there are no other questions. Thanks, guys.